Okay, so recording has started. So, George, first want to make sure I have your permission to record our lesson.
Yes, you do.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to pin um, you. So you are the main attraction. Let's see. And I will be in the background. You will hear my voice. And my sound is okay. Volume's good.
Yep.
Microphone,
Yep.
okay. The best when both of us have microphones. We get the best sound quality. Okay, great. So we're going to start with some technique. Going to start a little bit with some breath grounding exercises. So some lip trills. So I'll just be giving you the chord because if I try to play at the same time, as we know, Zoom is just going to cancel one of us out.
Yep.
And we certainly don't want it canceling your voice out. We don't want to. It's not a. We don't want to hear just piano playing. Okay, so we're gonna start with A major. So just an arpeggio. So just okay. Good. And I see a nice expansion in the rib cage. This is good. Excellent. Good. Good. And for that, the most uppermost note, make sure you really got a nice firmness in the core, just so we're right at the tonal center for the right at the yep. Good. 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 Much better. Excellent. Good. Good. And up around this part of our range, just a little more space between the molars, just a little more
Okay.
space. So higher frequency, higher pitches. We want a little more. You remember from vocal ped, you've taken vocal ped, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So vocal tract shaping. So higher pitches. We want a little more space in the back. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. And good. And keep that breath really anchored. Good. Good. Let's do one more. Good. Still feeling comfortable?
yep.
Yep. Actually, so then we'll do just one more. One more stretch. Yep. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Let's do another breath anchoring. So we'll do a little staccati. So we're gonna start with a v. So let's just do that little v.
The.
Yeah, and so you're feeling a nice firmness in the core, kind of a little contraction of your abdominal muscles, right? V, v. So it's almost like you're pulling them in a little bit. Yeah,
The.
good. Yeah, so it just kind of gets the air launching because we always want to just flood those vocal folds with air versus trying to onset, without airflow. Um, so we're going to start with a V, very so staccato. So V, 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 V. So lots of pull.
The.
Sorry, we're in different octaves.
Do you want to start up here or down there?
We're going to start yeah,
I don't think I can hit that note.
a low A. Okay, let's try here. Yep.
V.
Good. Now try not to pull your chin down for lower pitches. So you want just nice neutral kind of chin. Yeah. Good. So let's find a little more buoyancy. V V V V V. So Okay.
V, 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 V,
Yeah. Good.
V.
Good, good, good.
V, 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 V,
Good.
V.
And we can let's give a little more space between the teeth. So thinking almost like an uppercase I V, almost like a V.
V, 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 V,
Good.
V.
A nice buoyant staccato.
V, 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 V.
Good.
V, 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 V. V, 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 V.
Good. And let's switch to an open E vowel. So ve.
The.
Excellent.
The.
Good.
The.
Good. And let's switch to va. Good. And let's see if we can find a little more lift in our ah vowel. So as you're inhaling, we want to get this nice lift in the palate. We'll just get a little more space because it sounded just a little bit covered. It was a little kind of like the woofy ah, oh, va, va. So just a
Yes.
little, yeah. So let's try just a little brighter. Good. And let's make sure we have the breath anchor as well. So you had the lift, we're missing a little bit of the
Okay.
breath. There you go. That was good. Good coordination. That all gelled. Perfect. Good. Okay, let's go just a teeny bit higher. Yep, good. And just one more. Good, 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 good. Give me one second. All right, so let me see. So we'll go up just one more. So again, that nice preset, that space that you want to use. Nice lifted palate for va. Good, 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 good. Okay, excellent. And let's come back down. How about we work on a little bit of lining up our vowels? So we're going to transition from breath anchoring. Breath seems really nicely anchored, which is great. You've been doing some amazing work on that. I remember when I would first see you sing, you were kind of swaying a lot, and
Yes,
we used to
yes.
talk a lot about a lot of movement. So you're very anchored and planted now, which is great. So your body is working for your voice, not against it. So that's good. Okay, so let's do. We're gonna do an E, A, A, O, U on a single pitch. So like a and we'll start with the V. So V, A, O. So we're looking for it's really just a small little change in tongue position for the enunciation of the different vowels. So we'll start here at the C. We'll see if this feels a comfortable spot. Good. And I would say the slower the better, so you can really feel the transition vowel to vowel. Okay, so one more time. Yeah, good. 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 And as we're ascending, again, you want to think about trying to find that nice lift inside, a little more space inside, height inside, so we're not tempted to cover the vowel because that's going to make it harder to transition up through passaggio if you're kind of if you're everything's pulled back and down. So that's why I start this exercise with an eval because it's the most forward,
Yeah.
forward
Okay.
brightest, and then we transition E, A, O. So we start with a forward vowel and we transition to mid vowels, and then at the end it's the back vowels, and we're trying to keep those as streamlined. It's like threading a needle, trying to keep those as
Okay.
streamlined as possible. So
Yeah.
so that E vowel, we want to find that nice brightness. So that lift,
Okay.
E versus E. You're not covering that much, but
Okay.
okay.
E, A, O.
Yeah, good. And then we actually get a really nice ring. We get that nice ring and the
Yeah.
overtones in each of the
Okay.
vowels. And again, that's what we're looking for in all of our singing, in our classical singing. And it's that more effortless kind of released feeling of a tone. Like when a note is ringing, you feel like you could hold it forever and you feel like you're not using a lot of air because you've just got this perfect little resonating chamber going on in the vocal tract. So
Right.
so for me, not covering the vowels just kind of presets a really nice space for the voice to ring.
Okay.
Okay, so that was great. Just make sure you get a really nice breath before. So the last pitch, we don't get a really, really fast vibrato. We want to stay on the airflow. So it's sounding a little bit when you're getting slightly short of air. Your
Okay.
vibrato gets a little bit fast. So kind of it gets a little
Okay.
tremolo. So
Gotcha.
that yeah. So again, just that breath anchor. Okay. So
E, A, O.
right, good. That was much steadier. Good.
Is it
Yeah, yeah,
better?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep, definitely. Did you feel that you have more control?
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay,
I felt
good.
like it was, yeah.
Good. Excellent.
E, A, O.
Very nice. Yeah, I feel like I could see the ring. I could see the shaping. You just had this really nice roundness. And
Good.
every vowel had just a beautiful ring in it. So that's good. We're always looking for those nice, want to hear those formants and the overtones. So
Yes.
that's great. Yes, lovely.
E, A, O.
Good. So let's do that one more time. Let's get a little more airflow so we have a little more consistency. We sort of went between a little fast vibrato, slow, fast, slow, fast. So nice, nice deep anchored breath. And let's get a little
E, A, O.
pretty good. Let's see if we can get a little more height on your inhalation before the
Okay.
eval.
E, A, O.
So it was the slightest little difference, but it makes all the difference as you're
Yeah,
ascending.
I agree.
Yeah, so I wasn't hearing a covered vowel. I was hearing freedom, which is great. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
E, A, O.
good. So next one, let's get just a little deeper breath anchor.
E, A, O.
Yep, good. So same thing. Preset that space you want to sing into.
E, A, O.
Nice, good. How's that feeling?
Good, really good.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Excellent. Where are we? Here.
E, A, O.
Good, 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 good. So how about this time we go for a little more narrow and vertical E vowel to start. So kind of thinking like uppercase, almost like an I. We spread the E vowel just the slightest bit. So if we can find a little more vertical, E, E. Think
E, okay.
Good, and we still want to find that. We're good. Now we have just a teeny bit of the covering happening,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
I,
had
I, I always I always switch to something like try to fix that, and then I forget about the thing that I just fixed like last time.
it
Yeah.
is that's the story of every singer's life. It's we're always looking for that everything like we want the the jaw release, the tongue out of the way,
Yeah.
the right lift in the palate, and then the breath. So it's when all of the boxes are ticked off, then we get the perfect tone. So and that's all the years of vocal study that we all do is just to strive to find that consistency as much as we can.
Yeah.
And it's always a work. It's always for everyone. It's always evolving and growing and changing as our voices
Yeah.
change too. It's but yeah, I completely understand. One thing works and then it's like, oh, I forgot to breathe. Okay, so let's try so our little checklist: breath anchored. Let's get a nice lifted palate, and then we're going for a nice narrow tall eval. Yeah, that had a nice flow to it. Good,
Cool.
good, good, good. Just a couple more half steps. So same thing, anchor the breath, get that shaping, vocal tract shaping you want before you make a sound. Good, good,
Keep
good.
feeling my tongue whenever I go to ooh, like retracting into my mouth. Like I go and then it like comes back
Ooh.
for some reason. Like the tip of my tongue, I feel like is like going to the bottom of my mouth and like pulling back when I want it to like sit right where it was for the other four.
Stay nice and neutral. Yeah, we'll do let's do one more half step and then we'll jump back and we'll do an exercise that I like to do to help release the tongue a little bit, that it doesn't necessarily, it's almost fatiguing it a little bit, so it doesn't want to get so involved in the singing
Okay.
party. um, so we'll do one more half step, and again it's about trying to, so starting with that e vowel, trying to line everything up behind the e vowel, so then if you're thinking that way, then the oo vowel isn't going to be so distant from the eval in terms of the
Yeah.
enunciation. So e a ah o versus ooh back there. Actually, let's say it before we sing it. So let's just intone those vowels. So e a ah o ooh, and let's just see where we want to put that ooh.
E-A-O. Yeah, I feel like I'm like closing it off.
Ooh, yeah. So, and so you get to control that. So it's finding, again, it's a way to not cover. Ooh, we don't want it so far back. So
Yeah.
again, it's finding a little more of that, almost feeling that, as I say, where the E is. So let's do EU. Let's just go EU and see if we can get those close together.
You.
So that was less,
Yeah.
that was less retracted. Did that feel that way?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So so we'll shift gears. So let's just do an E to oo. So just on the same pitch. Nice and slow, and just let's get those really lined up.
You. Like
Ooh, as
I
you know
found that
what?
my tongue was like in the back of my mouth, so I had to like let it
But
go
then
back.
you but then you fixed it though.
I
So
did.
yeah, so the muscle memory, it's hard to break that muscle memory. So your first, yeah, when you first switched transition to the U vowel, it had a little bit of that retraction, a little bit of the kind of woofy covered sound, but then you changed it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
found really nice middle ground. Obviously, the U vowel, because it's a back vowel, it's not going to be as bright as your E, but you found a happy medium. So that's good. Good, good, good. So let's do that again. Let's go up half step. So let's do our E to oo. And as long as you need to sustain that oo to find that middle ground.
Okay.
Okay. How yeah, I think as you I mean it sounded less covered
Yes,
and retracted.
that was so I was able to keep my tongue in the front this time, but I feel like I kind of sacrificed the tone in a little bit. It didn't feel as like free or resonant as I wanted it to be.
So
So.
make sure you've got enough unhinge in the jaw. Make sure you've got enough space in the back that you're not shutting down. That
That
was
felt
a
much better.
good set. That was glorious. That was just warm and velvety. That's that tonal quality of yours that I just love. Yes, so I think we just needed more space in the
Yeah.
back,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And again, I think the breath that you took in, you had more space in the back. So when I talk a lot about this, preset the space that you want to sing into
Yeah.
versus start the note and then you're trying to, I mean, you
Right.
can you can change the shape of your vocal track. We know we can play around with that, but it's much nicer
You can
to
start with
start. Yeah, to have it in the right shape when you start the pitch. But good. Okay, so let's do just a little more of this. This is great. That was gorgeous. That was like pure beautiful George velvet tone. Love it. I think we
Um,
found it. We actually, we got a little feedback, microphone feedback. I wonder,
oh,
can we change the gain just a little bit? It was hard to hear if it was ringing. Yeah, we got just a little bit of Zoom feedback, unfortunately.
all right, let's see how this works.
Yeah, so there was still a little bit of feedback. But to me it was sounding freer. It wasn't sounding covered. So how did it feel to you?
No, it felt much better. Yeah, I think it. There's always sorry. There's a few notes that I sing that mess with the mic for some reason.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, no, it felt that jaw tip helped, just like unhinging it because I could
Unhinging.
feel
Yeah.
right here, the muscles right here were like tight when I was singing ooh, but just letting it ooh, it comes right out. So it's much.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because if you're closed down, on your ooh, if you're closing down the space in the back, it's gonna have this tense, constricted sound.
Right.
So let's go up a half step and see if we're out of that frequency that we're gonna have the feedback, the Zoom feedback. It's right here. Good. I think a little more space on your E, I think. So a little more space in the back, a little more release for the E. Okay. So that was a nice sound. How did that feel?
Good, good, yeah. That's my whole thing is that I always have some kind of tension when I sing,
Yeah.
whether it's in the base of my tongue or like my jaw. But when I just let it go, it sounds incredible. It feels incredible.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I will say it sounds incredible. It's okay to say it's okay to say you sound good because you sound great. Yes, so that was a very different sound. So I mean you always sound beautiful. Your tonal quality just naturally is really beautiful. Just that little bit of an unhinge just gives a little more space for the voice to ring and resonate, and helps release the tension, the jaw, root of the tongue. And it just has this perfect little amplifying chamber in there when you breathe in, have that nice lift in the palate, a little more space in the back molars. Let's try. So let's stay on the same pitch and let's go back to the E A R O U and see if we can find that, and get a good breath because some of the covering at the end with the ooh I think was attributed to getting just a little bit short of air as
Okay.
well. So that kind of made you just kind of push it out. So if you want to speed it up just slightly to make sure that you still have a good tank full of air by the time you get to the ooh. Okay.
Yeah, let me try one more time.
Sure, but that was a better ooh than the other
Yeah,
ones
it
where you
was.
were doing the complete EIR. So you just yeah, it was just a little airflow. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 and that was the other difference I noticed, and that was the same tempo actually. So that was a good sign that you were it was more efficient singing, that you weren't running out of
yeah.
air
And
because
like
every
you were saying earlier, I felt like when you have the ring, like you can just sing forever. That's what it
hold it
felt like.
forever. Yep.
Yeah,
And that last ooh, I felt like you were just effortlessly sustaining that versus when you get that really fast vibrato, that's kind of indicative in your
yeah,
voice of, oh, I'm getting short of air. I'm gonna get the fast vibrato, or it's gonna have that covered sound. So
yeah.
that was great. Good, 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 good. Let's see, how's our timing? Yeah, let's do. We'll transition to just a little bit of flexibility.
Sure.
Let's see. What would I like to do? So, a little triplet exercise. So basically, it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with a little triplet attached. So instead of it'll be, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll start with a couple on z first, just to ensure that that air is anchored, and we'll start a little bit lower, so when we open to the vowels, we're in a good range for you. So, so we're looking for buoyancy, but also with the legato stream of air, just a
Okay.
little bit of everything. Yeah, and we're gonna go up a few of these. We're stretching the range. Good. So how about on this one? We're gonna throw in some vowels. So we're gonna alternate e to ah. E ah e ah e. So good buoyancy, but still, as I said, with a nice legato stream
Okay.
through it. Okay.
E-I-E-I-E.
Yep. Good. And again, same thing with the e vowel. Let's get we're lower than we were before, but we still want that space so we don't feel any restriction.
E-I-E-I-E.
Yep.
E-I-E-I-E.
Good. And let's make sure that our ah vowel is not too different. It was sounding a little bit covered. So it was kind of it was a little bit back there. So let's get a little more Italian without spreading, but
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. E-I-E-I-E.
Yeah. Good. Nice breath anchor. It's the checklist.
E-I-E-I-E.
Good. So they kind of alternated. The first ah was a little woofy, oh,
Yeah.
and then you fixed it right away. Good. This is good. Smart singing. It's good. You kind of fix things in the moment. We love it. Okay.
Ooh, sorry.
That's all right.
E-I-E-I-E.
Good. And let's make sure we're starting that for. Actually, you know what? Let's start it instead of right on E. Let's start it with a V, just so we make sure that core is really engaged. V. Okay.
V-I-V.
All right,
Sorry.
and then yeah.
V-I-E-I-E.
Good. Let's do one more time.
V-I-E-I-E.
That was much better. I felt like you had a yeah, the onset of the voice was better with that v, just making sure the air is poof, nice poof of air to start everything. Yeah, and let's go up half a step.
V-I-I.
Good.
V-I-I.
Good.
V-I-I. That felt bad.
Okay, we'll try it again.
V-I-I.
Did that feel better? The E, the last E, you kind of closed down. Did you hear it
Oh,
when you got the
yes.
little kind of tremolo vibrato going on? Yeah. So keep that unhinged and
V-I-I.
yeah, closer. I think we have a little more space
It's
on your
harder.
final
I
E.
feel like it's harder to get that space when I'm lower in my range. Like I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know if it's just me thinking that it's harder and then therefore it's harder, or
I,
it's
I'm,
like
I'm
an actual.
thinking I'm thinking it's I'm thinking that it's I'm thinking you're thinking it's harder. I mean, you want so again, depending on where you are in your range, in the vocal range, the higher pitches, we want a really nice unhinge. Passaggio, everything up above, a really nice unhinge. When we're lower middle, we are looking for a little smaller space in the vocal tract with vowels tucked in nice and forward. So one of the exercises I was mentioning, this register shift, we'll pause on the triplets for a second, is I'm going to sing E to ah. So this is the octave exercise I was talking about. So it's E, ah. So see how I started kind of smaller space in the vocal tract, very forward, and then as I went up the octave, I unhinged for my ah. But then as I was descending, I closed down a little bit of the space again and tucked the ah in, brighten it up a little bit. So it's about knowing where you are in your registration and exactly what this is one of the wonderful things about studying voice and technique and ownership of your voice is figuring out what how much space do you need in your vocal tract and the brightness and how much playing around with vocal tract shaping do you need dependent on where you are in your range. So I think from my ears, where we just were, I think we needed just a little more space in the vocal tract, so a little more unhinge. So it's low, but I mean, it's as a as high baritone, potentially transitioning to tenor land. This F, that's your middle voice, so we do want that to be nice and
Yeah.
anchored and warm and round. So I think it's a matter of just figuring out what shaping do you need for your eval there. Um, okay, so we'll jump back to the triplet again. Okay.
V-I-I. I feel like it's tense on my tongue there. So like does that sound like I feel like it doesn't sound as open as it did before. Like
Yeah, and I think also I think another thing is that we got off our air a little bit in
okay.
going to the yeah, I think we lost a little bit of the breath anchor. So we'll shift gears back again. I just want to get that anchor back. So we're gonna shift to a 1-5-1. Okay. So we're gonna an eval. So so let's get that breath anchor and let's figure out where you want to put the eval. So I would give a little more space. I think we need more space in the molars, right?
That felt much
Better.
better.
Yeah, I think I would even open a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, I would literally open your mouth a little more. That's sounding pretty free. How's it feeling?
Feels a lot more free. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I think as I said, we just got off the air a little bit and just need to get that anchor. Good. Let's nice unhinge as for the upper. Let's go e to ah. How's that feel?
Good.
Good, good, good. Okay, let's do one more of those. Good. So I feel like we have the anchor back. We have to transition to repertoire. I didn't. We were spending a lot of time on technique, which is great. But I wanted to tell you, show you the exercise I was talking about before about helping release a little bit of that tongue tension, root of the
Yeah.
tongue. So basically, it's like a lip trill, but it's actually a tongue trill. So I you can do like a 1-5-1. So it's like a, like a raspberry kind of, you know.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's really
Sorry. Let's start down the octave.
good.
Yeah, takes a lot of air, and the tongue's got to be just free. Yeah, good. Let's come up a little bit.
It's a lot
Yeah,
harder than a lip trill.
yeah. This. I feel like this will be a really. This is a really good exercise for you to. This is going to help free up some of that tongue tension. So if it's challenging to have the tongue vibrating, then you know that you're used to
Yeah.
holding it. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. And as you ascend, or you're gonna find out very quickly where the tongue wants to retract. So generally, it's going to be as you ascend. So yeah, so this is good. This is going to ensure that the tongue can't get as involved as it wants to, and it's going to be really about the airflow and just trusting that airflow is what's going to help stretch up to those higher pitches. So that's a great one, the 1-5-1, or it could be a. So as you get more comfortable with the 1-5-1, then you could add in 1-2-3-4-5 or 3-2-1-5-1. Then you're in good shape if you can start elongating those and have the tongue not get too tight. So yeah, good, good, good. Okay, so we're going to transition to a little bit of repertoire. So Lydia, let's just make sure we'll do a little sound check
Yeah.
first. I'm just going to pull up some sheet music here. Do, 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 do. Give me 1 second.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Yep, good. Got the F major. Okie doke. So, all right, should we try this gorgeous piece?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Do you want to do a sound check first? See if you can hear me and everything?
Sure. It sounded like it was good, but let's just make. That's good. Yeah, that's a good balance. Good, good, good. Nice slow tempo too. Oh, it's good. It's all this piece is so much better at the slower tempo,
I agree.
right? Okay, here we go.
All right. Sur tes roses joues, et sur ton col frais et si blanc, roulez que tu dénoues le jour qui lui est le meilleur, oublions l'éternel tombe. Laisse tes baisers de colombe, chanter sur ta lèvre en fleurs, sur ta lèvre en fleurs. Alice cachée pense sans cesse un odio divino à ton sein. Les délices comme un essai sortent de toi, jeune déesse. Je t'aime même, oh mes amours, mon âme bat des aimer la vie. Oh Lydia, rends-moi la vie, que je puisse mourir, mourir toujours.
Beautiful, beautiful. Isn't it just a oh, such a dreamy piece. I love it. Ah, so gorgeous. Okay, so very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Um, so one thing we want to address a little bit is some of the sustained notes. We had a little bit of straight tone to start them. So we want to make sure that as soon as you start the note, that it's vibrating. So we'll go through and pick apart a few little spots. And we want to ensure as well. I'd like to see if we can get a little more nasality in your nasals, and I
Okay.
think this will also tie in a little bit to what I hear sometimes with the covering, that if you're trying to, we'll say, buzz your nasals too far back, we're not going to have the accurate vowel in one, in for one. And then we run that risk of that kind of covering, a little bit of that woo woofy,
Yeah.
which we don't want to have on those vowels, because again, the risk is always that it's going to put a little bit of ceiling on being able to ascend up through passaggio. Um, let's see. So, but in general, French diction is just great. So,
That's
wonderful
not
to hear sealed, for example. So a lot of students, if they have a hard time with some of the mixed vowels in French and in German, because there's some similarities.
for
Yes.
some reason I don't know where my IPA went. I always have it written in my French music,
Mhm.
but for some reason it's not in this one. I looked for it.
That's
So I
okay.
hopefully
Yeah.
it's
I'm just trying to think. I don't know that I heard errors. It was more just wanting to hear a little more nasality. Um, and let's see, I'm just scrolling through the sheet music. The une odeur. Um,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, where is this? Is this
Where is that?
oh, middle page. Okay. 23?
Alice cachée, réponse sans cesse. Yeah. Une odeur. Yeah.
You know. Okay.
So I heard a little bit of, it was just kind of an ambiguous.
Okay.
not sort of not a necessarily a French sounding.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just isolate a little bit, and we'll do it without the accompaniment for now, and then we can put that back in. Um, let's see. So let's go from the beginning, and we can do that same tempo. And I just want to make sure, we'll stop and start a little bit, which is easier without the piano track. Obviously, if we were together and I was playing, we could stop and start, but let's do a cappella. Just I want to make sure the voice is vibrating the second that you start a pitch that you're going to be sustaining.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure our nasals are nasalized enough. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. Our Lydia.
Lydia, sur tes roses joues, et sur ton col fraise et si blanc.
Okay, so we're gonna pause there. So blanc, I'd like to hear a little more.
Okay.
It's not. It's
Blanc,
sorry. Go ahead.
blanc,
Say blanc.
blanc.
Yeah. So we want to get. This is
Okay.
why this is another. This is French is glorious to sing in because you just get again if you're looking for like the ring and the spin and all that good stuff. Oh, French is so great for that.
Love
Okay,
it.
so let's do the et sur ton coffret. Let's see if we can get blanc. Let's get a little more. So you want? I think we want to. I think we want to buzz that a little. Want to enunciate it just a little more forward. I think it was a little blanc. Oh, it was a little back there. So let's get more blanc. So let's really nasalize that. So we'll go from the et sur.
Et sur ton col fraise et si blanc.
Close. I think we can still get a little more. We're gonna
Okay.
get even closer. So let's try a little more lift in these cheekbones. Let's see if we can get a little more. I want to see a little more of the apples in your cheeks.
Okay.
Blanc. Okay.
Et
Let me give you the right pitch. Yep.
et sur ton col fraise et si blanc.
Closer. Yeah, just turn around and face me. I want to see your. Yeah, I want to see what you're doing. So blanc, blanc.
Blanc. Is that better?
It's getting there. Yeah. So
I
let's
think
say
I felt
blanc.
the difference between. I
Yes.
felt like is the soft palate supposed to go down a little bit when you're?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like
Blanc.
hovering a little bit more so that it like sends it up, right?
That it's going to nasalize. Blanc.
Blanc, blanc,
There.
blanc.
Yeah. Much better. Yeah. Because I think what you were doing is that you were saying it really like blanc, really far back. So it wasn't really nasalized. It was like
Yeah,
a covered versus a
yeah.
nasalized
I was like just
A.
like letting the tiniest bit of air through my nose. Sorry,
Oh, that's okay.
I was just letting like the tiniest bit of air through my nose there.
Okay.
But yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So
So let's try that with this hopefully new little moment of discovery.
et sur ton col fraise et si blanc.
So that was better. I think if we can get just a little more and just a
Okay.
little more nasality, then we're going to be right on it. Okay.
Et sur ton col fraise et si blanc.
There you go. Yeah, that was good. So for your first approach to it was to spread it,
Yeah.
and then you narrowed it, and then you found a much better spot. Okay, good. So tell me where were you feeling that A nasal?
100%. It's well, I feel the vibration up here, like in my nasal cavity, but
Mhm.
definitely I feel the shift between the soft palate being up and down, and I think that's what you meant was when I was doing the I was just like it was still open as much as I could back there, but I
Yep.
need to let it come down. So
So then it has no choice. Yeah. Then it
that's
has
what.
no choice but to nasalize. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I feel like this is going to be just life changing for your French diction. This is good. We love this. Okay, let's do. Okay, so let's jump ahead and can we go to le jour qui lui est le meilleur?
Le jour qui lui est le meilleur, oublions l'éternel tombe. Laisse tes bêtes. Was that good?
Yeah, that was a better nasal because the other, when you first sang it, it was kind of ta ta, and again, it was just more like a
Okay.
covered vowel versus a nasalized vowel. Good, 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 good. So let's do the let's keep going. So oublions l'éternel tombe. Okay, we'll keep going.
Laisse tes bêtes. That part.
Yep, yep.
Laisse tes baisers de colombe chanter sur ta lèvre en fleur, sur ta lèvre en fleur.
Okay, so good, 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 good. So Colombo, let's that went a little bit back to the kind of covered,
Okay.
not exactly nasalized.
Open O, right? Open O nasal?
Colombo, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So let's but as I say, it was sounding covered.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll go from the leso one more time.
Tes baisers de colombe
There you
chantent
go.
sur ta
Good.
lèvre en fleur. Cool.
Good, good, good. That was so much better. Yes, so that
Yeah.
now that sounded French versus he's covering these vowels. And we need the fleur, we need those to match. The sur ta lèvre en fleur, that was they didn't match. So let's do the first one, the chanter sur.
Chante sur ta lèvre en fleur, sur ta lèvre en fleur.
Fleur. Yeah, and make sure you got a little we want that little French pucker in the lips. Fleur. So let's do one more time. I just want to make sure the C, the higher pitched fleur matches the lower. Okay, so the chanter.
Chante sur ta lèvre en fleur, sur ta lèvre en fleur.
Fleur. They're closer. I think I'd like to get them even
Fleur,
closer.
fleur, fleur, fleur.
What, just do one more time. Fleur. Yep.
Fleur, fleur.
So can we get a little more rounded lips? So because it's the combination, like it's the the OE. Fleur, fleur versus fleur. So let's get a little more rounded lip and see if that helps you find the.
Fleur, fleur,
And then
fleur,
okay, so they
fleur.
yeah they match now. So let's put the chanter before it.
It's pulling the corners of my mouth in a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay. Chante sur ta lèvre en fleur.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Woo, 1 second. So you're tensing your lips a little bit. So the lower your fleur on F is just nice and relaxed, rounded lips. The C, I see a little bit of tension coming in.
Okay. All right. Chante sur ta lèvre en fleur, sur ta lèvre en fleur.
Yeah, they're still not
Really?
exactly.
Oh,
They're close. They're still not exactly. So
yeah.
fleur, fleur. So let's
Oh,
let's go back to the alternate. We'll the C down to the F, back and forth so we can match.
fleur, 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 fleur,
Okay, so
fleur.
those match. So and it's because you just have a nice natural rounding of the lips. So it's when you're descending from lèvres en fleur.
Lèvres en fleur, lèvres en
There you
fleur.
go. Yep. That's it. Good.
lèvres en fleurs.
Okay, so those they match now. Good.
Yeah,
So tell me what you did so we can make sure that you
I think it's
remember it.
okay. So it's a little bit. I'm not tensing my lips when I go to the higher one, but also I think it was getting used to switching from the lèvres to fleur, the
Hmm.
e, because I think I was spreading more than I needed to because I was doing like fleur, not rounding enough.
Rounding. Fleur.
So it's like switching between the ah and the So like
Hmm.
lèvres en fleur, sur ta lèvre en fleur. So
Okay.
like, yeah.
So what you just did then, they didn't match as much as when you just sang them. So you have to just think of just yeah. So now we're gonna do it again because I have to know that you can match these. Okay, so do your fleur because you did it, so we know you can. Just finding that.
Fleur, fleur,
Yeah.
fleur, fleur.
Okay, good. So now let's go from lèvres en fleur, so we can have the nasal and be able to transition out of it.
Lèvres en fleur, sur ta lèvre en
Okay,
fleur.
good. Those matched. So I think it's just not going on autopilot because when I've heard you sing it before, I did notice the discrepancy in the two fleurs.
Yeah,
So I think, as I said, it's just that little bit of extra attention
right.
to. Oh, right.
Okay,
Okay, I have to think about that.
right.
Okay, and then next little spot. It was the. I'm not sure if we have the same copy, but it's this. It's the. Intensin. I just want to make sure. So it's the, the
Yeah.
that one was one of the pitches where I think you were starting it straight tone and then vibrato. So we just want to make sure that it's vibrating right away. So we could go from Alice Caché. We can start there.
Alice cachait les pensants cesse, une ode divine intensa.
Good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Careful on odeur that you don't do a glottal stop. That wasn't that's not a typical thing for you. Just that one time there was a little une odeur. There
Une
was a
ode divine. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. That, but as I said, I think that was just a random thing. And we had the vibration as soon as you were on the C, which was great. Um, Okay, so I think that was the spots. Oh, yes, une. Let's jump to that and then I want to put it back with the piano. Um let's just make sure yeah, let's just I want to just double check. So can we just restart that verse again? The un lis caché.
thank you. Alice cachait pensant cesse une ode,
Yeah.
une ode divine intensa.
Yep. Yep. Yep, you're good. Good, good, good. Yeah, so the une that time was une versus kind of an or not it wasn't even an it was just sort of an in between.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, beautiful. So, how about we let's do the full piece again.
Sure.
So you tell me, what are we going to remember? What are we going to be thinking about? What's our
So,
checklist?
correct nasal vowels by letting my soft palate fall down and close off the mouth and let it go up through the nose. Um, on all of the nasal vowels that I do. Um, tombe, make sure that that's correct, as well as colombe, that's open O with that. And then fleur, matching the fleurs, make sure that those are the same.
Yep.
Um, si est à lèvres en fleur, make sure that it's the rounded, like closing the lips a little bit, make sure that's correct. And then also in odeur divine attention. No glottal stop in between those two, and then vibrate any long notes I take right
That
away.
was the one I was waiting for. It's like, oh, he's going to remember that. I know he will. I have confidence in George. Okay,
Uh,
perfect. So let's do this from the beginning. And the positives. I know we're always focusing on fix this, fix this. So legato line is beautiful. Oh, just lost your video.
Sorry
There you
about
are.
that.
You're back.
My battery's actually running low.
Oh, that's okay. We're pretty close to almost out of time. So I think we'll make it. We'll just make it. So legato line was just beautiful. This is a very slow tempo, which I absolutely prefer. So you were able to sustain those phrases. Oh, there was one little breath that I was not thrilled with. So the first page, so roulette un salon, you carried over the law fluide, but then took a breath before que.
Yes. I
So
shouldn't do
I my thought would be take your breath before lor because it's a capitalized L. Rouletin selon breath law fluide, and then you don't then you're not breaking up law fluide que.
Okay.
So we could try that and just see. I think it might flow a little bit better. But yeah, dynamics were great. Just beautiful sustained line, and you're always such an emotionally engaged singer. So just so you know, I'm feeling all of the emotions from you. So that's great. So it's not just not all about the technique and everything. You're artistically singing, which is much appreciated. So let's go. We'll put it back with the piano, and we're going for all the nasals, the vibrating, the matching fleurs, the une without the glottal, everything you said. So,
Okay. All right.
all right.
Start it up. Lia sur tes roses joues, et sur ton corps fraise et si blanc. Roule étincelant, l'enflure que tu dénoues. Le jour qui lui est le meilleur, oublions l'éternel tombe. Laisse tes baisers de colombe, chanter sur ta lèvre en fleurs, sur ta lèvre en fleurs.
Yep. Good. Good.
Alice cachée, pas sans cesse, une ode divine entend ça. Les délices comme un essaim sortent de toi, je ne laisse. Je t'aime, oh mes amours, mon âme, mon baiser, mais la vie. Oh Lilia, rends-moi la vie, que je puisse mourir, mourir toujours. All right.
Good.
Awesome.
Good. Good. Let
There's a
me.
couple I didn't hold on the sat. Ina de divina tosa. I realized that I was straight right away, and then like I
Yep.
immediately changed it, but felt okay.
And also in the beginning, the very first, what was it?
Mhm.
Je le qui lui. I think you might have done a little straight tone. Je le qui. Is that the
Okay.
like? Let me just look at the. sheet music again
Oh.
really quickly. Like, yeah,
Okay, so just keep
yeah.
it vibrant.
Make sure those are vibrating. And the nasals were much better. I think there was still a little bit, still a couple of them were
Yeah.
still
Okay.
a little bit covered.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so much. But the fleurs totally matched. Very
Good.
nice. Good,
I'm
good,
just
good.
gonna plug in my phone. I would hate for it to die right
Okay.
now. Sorry.
Oh, not a problem.
I'm just gonna do this really quick. All right.
Good. Perfect. Yes. So, fix the flares. For the
All right.
most part, nasals were much more, nasalized. Um, let's see. Une was great without, and then didn't have the glottal on the odeur. And, and actually, so, you, the breath that I mentioned at the L'eau fluide, so you sang through it, but then you didn't. I think you realized that you did it, but then
Yes.
you didn't take the breath
Yes.
before que. I'm like, so good for you. So extra large lung capacity for that one. So yeah, so you can see, you can decide, but I think because it's capitalized,
Yeah,
that
I think your breath is a good idea. Originally, I was doing it. La vida that doesn't really make sense.
and that's the middle of, it's right, it's the middle of a sentence, right?
Yeah.
So
All right.
I would, I mean, and you showed you could carry the phrase over, but I think you're okay. It's a legal breath, I think, given that it's, the L is capitalized. So I usually go with that if there isn't, punctuation. If you've got a capitalized, consonant, then that's an okay spot.
Yeah.
This was beautiful. Good, 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 good. So I've kept you a little longer than anticipated.
Okay.
So let me just pause our recording.